Okay, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another FastBall Sunday with yours truly, Crusty Canuck and Elle Sophia Rossetti. Adam will be showing up momentarily, as well as Fred and possible other guests. This is FastBall Sunday. And good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck, and with us today, part of our panel, Miss Elle Sophia Rossetti. And Fred Stockman and Daniel Mezei should be showing up momentarily. Needless to say, this is the weekly panel show where we discuss Canadian politics, social, economic issues, and all that, and just a roundtable discussion on everything that annoys us today about the Canadian policies. So, how was your week, Elle?
No, been a crazy week. We got a lot of new stuff going on with these graphene and stuff that are in the vaccines, and just all the information we're finding out about everything, and the fact that our politicians are still doubling down on lockdowns and everything. We get a notice tomorrow for Ontario from the Ford government whether they're going to extend it or cancel it. I think they're going to extend it and keep the reopening policy in swing. So that keeps everyone wearing masks and stuff. But it's nuts.
Oh, it's just adding up. Like here, okay, maybe we're lucky out here in Alberta. They've lightened restrictions. Okay, I get it. But in the same sense, because of me speaking out, I lost a job. So it's all kind of, pardon my expression, retarded in all levels, regardless. Yeah. And there's too many Carls and Karens out there calling the shots. Really, all in the name of comfort and safety. Oh my goodness. How dare you disagree with wearing a mask? How dare you? How dare you? Oh my goodness. Don't
defend my mask.
Oh my goodness. And rightfully so. If people want to still wear a mask, okay, fine. Yeah. And if you want to go get the inoculations, fine, okay. But when you start messing with people and ratting out your neighbors and telling on them, because you're only creating more dissension.
Yeah, more division, right?
Yeah, you're giving the world wants. Well, you're giving those overlords what they want to hear and what they want to see.
Yeah,
and that's not right.
No, and it's not. And the stupid thing is, people are falling into it like a bunch of, I hate to say it, sleeple. Like they're asleep on their feet. If they can't see what's going on right in front of their faces, I don't know.
No, I see that. No,
nothing added up to me. 2 weeks after this all started, I told my sister the numbers are not adding up. Right, something smells here really bad, and then bam, we find out everything we found out. It kind of it's validating and everything. Not that I needed that, but the point is that I didn't want to be right. I was hoping I was wrong. But no one was driving to get around me, especially the neighbor I don't like didn't die of COVID. So I'm not very happy.
Well, that's the thing too. When you look at the anticipation when they're talking about hospitals being overrun, it's like, how many hospitals have you seen personally? And when I was working security, there were precautions in place and security measures, what have you. But we were not being overrun. We were not being, herded into a certain category. Yeah, more masks, more gloves, more protections, more plastic here, more plastic there. Okay, how many small businesses had to sit and buy these plastic shields or buy these certain face guards or these certain masks and these certain creams and this certain, it just added up to what? More fear.
We had empty hospitals, and any nurses that spoke about it or doctors got basically fired. I did a video about some nurses speaking in Hemington, actually. And they were speaking out, and they were saying the hospitals we were told there was going to be a pandemic, and that didn't happen. Right?
It wasn't there.
No.
Like all the field hospitals they put up in certain hospitals around the GTA.
Yeah, they put one up here too. Nothing. Nobody there. So they shut it down.
Sanico says the amount of fear and propaganda, and the people are just wanting to be left alone, so they turn a blind eye.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, true. People want to be left alone, go about their own business, rightfully so. but we're also seeing a bunch of people that understand the injustices and the real stupid gestures and actions that are committed, and a lot of people don't speak out on it.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the thing.
the problem is if people are being, I'm not going to call them apathetic. I will call them complacent in a fact where they just want to, because of the fear and that they want to be left alone. That scares me because we need to fight for everything right now, everything. And people just refuse to get involved. And that's just not the Canada I know.
Oh, I know. I don't remember a time in my life in this country where we lived in fear.
Yeah.
Or encouraged to live in fear than like now. Barrie, Ontario, to anybody out there in the Crusty Canuck world who is in Barrie, my condolences to those individuals that have lost property or lost their livelihoods because of that little touchdown tornado they had there. So please, if you need anything, don't hesitate to give me an email. I don't have cash to give, but I can mail some items to you if you need it. Please let me know. Contact a few friends in Barrie there after said tornado just to check on their welfare, make sure they're good to go. Luckily, that everything was fine. You guys know who you are, But if anyone needs anything, please don't hesitate to give me an email. I'll put the email up here shortly. So we had a tornado like that back in 1985 when I was a kid, and that scared a lot of people. That took out a street in our town.
Wow.
It was luckily, I think there might have been one casualty, I think, but it was an eye opener for sure. The wrath of Mother Nature, per se. I don't want
The
people
worst
to
my town ever had was a twister. So it took a factory roof off. What do you do, right? It didn't do much damage.
Yeah. You might get some insurance there, but
well,
my friends,
like I said, it didn't impact the way I thought it would, but I'm glad it didn't. The tornadoes are scary.
They can be. Oh, big time.
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah, definitely. But my heart goes out to everybody affected in Barrie, and I hope to God everyone's safe. Yeah. I don't know if there was any lives lost. They're not really. I haven't had a chance to look. I'm not going to say they're not reporting on it. They probably are. But I will go and look because prayers out to everybody anyway.
Well, last I heard, there was about 8 people that were hurt. Thankfully, no one was killed. Okay. But still, just damaged property. Life pauses. You got to upheave, fix things again. So I say again to my friends in Barrie, Ontario, my sincerest condolences into loss of property that you have. But you do have support out here in the West. Just send me an email. Let me know if you need anything. So, but anyway, moving on from that. It was Shark Week this week, Al, on Discovery Channel. Yes. Not that everybody really cares. I was a little disappointed this year with how the Shark Week. Well, they usually have some pretty good shows on there too, and there was one segment they had where what's his name? Some country and western singer. He was underwater with his guitar to see if sharks would be attracted to his guitar sounds. And just, wow, that's what Shark Week's come to. Just buffoonery. It used to be interesting to follow certain patterns of great whites and how tiger sharks do this and how mako sharks do that. Now they have to get country and western singers underwater playing guitar.
Where's Matt Hooper when you need him, eh?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You remember Richard Dreyfuss from Jaws?
Oh, yes.
He'd have told him, look, you're going to get eaten, you moron.
Yeah, we need Hooper and we need a Quint out there just to smarten people up.
Yeah.
So. Brad Paisley, that's his name. Yeah, Brad Paisley. Okay. Yeah, he was playing guitar. Yeah, I think his big hit was Mud on the Tires or something like that.
Yeah.
But he was there hooked up with some other comedian and they were playing noises underwater to track sharks. I don't know. But this is from Sanico. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah. The great white shark is racist. How dare we mention that animal, that filthy fascist animal? How dare we? Oh my goodness.
That's hilarious.
But in tribute to Shark Week, I'm going to post a very, very special photograph. Probably the scariest shark I have ever seen to date. So brace yourselves, folks. This is my tribute to the end of Shark Week. Enjoy. Right. That's right there. Yeah, that's right. No, I'm not saying to my Edmonton fans that everybody from North Edmonton has teeth like that, but it gives you some insight into the humor and what we need in today's society. So you're swimming along, mind your business, you come across an animal like that. What are exactly you're going to do? So have a good laugh before it tries to chomp on you or nibble on you or something like that. But yeah, that's my tribute to the Shark Week this week. So yeah.
And Jay does Rosier, you're right. We're seeing worldwide, we're seeing a mass demonstrations, but it's like one demonstration everywhere because it's all about the same thing. It's about freedom and about fighting these passports. And that's amazing. This gives me hope. Maybe Canada will get more than 50 people at a fucking protest. Aside from Quebec and Ottawa, they're all around, okay, in Toronto. Aside from those three places, Canada's been silent. Why aren't people on the streets? It blows my mind. But Jay, a revolution's coming, and I'm going to be a part of it. I'll be filming it, actually.
That should be good. Yes. And once I can financially leave my place and pursue these endeavors, then yes, I can be at protests too. And I would love to speak at any protest if that's possible. Mm-hmm. I was invited a couple of times, but I was working when I had my job. I couldn't just say to my employer, I'm going to go protest for freedom here. I wanted to, but he has to say, and like Jay says, yes, we were seeing a great awakening of mass protests, France, London, Hong Kong, Cuba, return of the protest of 2019, revolution is coming. And especially when it comes to Cuba there too. Now I you know me, I don't believe in doxing people. I don't believe in doing that. I believe people are entitled to their opinions. I don't believe anyone should be fired or let go from their job or position because they have an opinion on something. It's an initial action that I'm concerned with. Now, I've had a couple emails from kids talking to me about, oh, well, Fidel Castro did all these wonderful things for Cuba. And I'm thinking, well, name some. Don't tell me about healthcare.
Name one. Because don't say Justin was his great thing for Cuba. Name one thing he did. He was a dictator. He's a ruthless dictator who killed, oh my God, we don't even know how many people he killed. Mm-hmm. So no, they can't, and it made my false teeth grind when Justin was praising Castro at his death when he died.
Oh yeah, Nixon did the exact same thing. The exact same thing. And regardless of what the strife was in Cuba at that time, okay, like I'm not familiar with how Cuba was back in the 1950s. I know there was gambling, there was lots of opportunities. There were people that had and had not. Now, how many Cubans have right now? They may have a roof over their head, but they have running water, electricity, access to medicine, access to food, access to transportation. Isn't the so-called proletariat supposed to be providing this for them? And yet, where are they? Well, what's going on? And then, of course, a lot of the democratic models in the United States are saying, well, it's just a misunderstanding. Really? Then why did so many Cubans want to leave so many times in the 80s and the 90s, making makeshift rafts to hopefully drift to the current to Florida to find something, we call freedom? But,
something better than what they had. I mean, I won't call what we have freedom. We never have been free. We've always been under the constraints of society, but those are common sense things. Don't kill people, don't hurt people, don't steal from people. That was basic rules. But I mean, you're never really free. But, it's like George Carlin said, and I love the way he said it. You have the illusion of freedom. Mm-hmm. That's what we had. But I liked that over what we have now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll
take an illusion anyway.
Yeah, definitely. I take this illusion, the opportunity where I can go and get a better job, or hopefully, make some decent money through my podcast here too. But in the same sense, that's up to people who want to volunteer that. And that's what it comes down to, volunteering to go get the job, to volunteering to go to get education, to whatever. Having the opportunity to do so, I think, is freedom, first and foremost. And we see those opportunities being squandered, right? Made up lies, made up race card baiting, made up this. Oh my God, there's misogyny here. Why? Because someone questioned your ability, right?
And now they want to monitor our thoughts. They want to monitor our thought. The thought police. Think about it.
The thought police. Diabol. Hello. Just a
Scary
police.
time. That scares the death out of me. I got 4, like I said, I got 4 grandkids I'm worried about, and everyone's grandkids. But what's going on? We can't leave this to them. We can't leave this kind of world for them to grow up in. We have to fight. This has to end. All of it. Right?
Exactly. From Dave Hemington, Trudeau has done an about-face now and condemned the actions taken against the protesters. I wonder if it has anything to do with the election coming. Yeah. Yes, exactly. He has done a total about-face, right? When he did his little Zoom briefing there, always, thinking about the Cuban security and the people. He never said democracy. And now 2 days later, he's saying, oh, Cubans have to have democracy. It's like, okay. So, yeah, he's just winning favor with people.
So I see Cuba can have democracy and we're going to have dictatorship.
Yep.
Well, that sounds fair, like a fair trade. Can I get a couple of cigars anyway?
Well, if Cuba becomes democratic and they have free elections and they actually have a prime minister or a president that gets elected and recycled every 4 to 5 years, then I might just go to Cuba.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. Back on the beach, look at my middle-aged, body and just go, yep, here I am. That's it. Drink some rum, smoke some hoolie. Yeah.
Jay had mentioned the CDC had announced the pandemic of the unvaxxed. Have you heard about that?
No, I have not.
Yeah, that's the new pandemic. We are the new pandemic. Whoever's not vaccinated.
I see. Oh, okay. So the CDC has announced the pandemic of the unvaxxed. The Rockefeller Foundation has contributed $13 million to combat social media misinformation.
Yeah.
LOL. One of the 13 bloodline families that runs the world is attacking the Facebook extremists and fearful. The 12, including Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, the fearful. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what was there? Pistaki, the press secretary, talking about mandates. And even up here, Mr. Stephen Gilbert, Mr. dirty-looking candy van man himself there.
I think he looks like Chong's brother. Glasses and the headband.
Chong's brother. The guy who actually tried to go to Vietnam, but he missed the plane.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. But the censorship issue is just, it's ridiculous. We had this trouble briefly back in the 1990s, if you remember, where certain artists, even in the 1980s, would start putting stickers and wearing labels on cassettes and records because a few bands would drop the F-bomb here or the F-bomb there. And then it kind of regurgitated back in the 90s a bit with certain bands being censored, like the Bare Naked Ladies, Madonna, and some of her shows too. And then it just kind of fizzled away, and then it was a free-for-all. Now we're seeing it more full-on ridiculous because of so-called hate speech. We can't say hateful things online. Oh, my goodness. And that's a broad term, as well as I do, and to my audience out there, too. I could sit here all day and talk about how much I hate taxes, how much I hate these politicians. That doesn't mean that I'm going to go on my way to harm these individuals or destroy their property. The thoughts do cross my mind, but that doesn't mean I'm going to take action on it, right? That's what people forget, Too much comfort out there. Comfort. I need to be comfortable. I need to be safe. Oh, you said some bad words to me. Oh, suck it up. It could be worse.
Yeah.
There could be people saying bad words to you and then put a gun to your head. Guess what? You're coming with me over here. Oh, it's 3 a.m. Guess what? You're coming with us. So which is better, ladies and gentlemen, right?
Yeah.
And this is not a conspiracy theory. Look at Argentina back in the 1970s and 80s, Chile, parts of Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Something to think about, folks.
And then I don't know if you've seen it circulating around. It's the PDF from the Supreme Court decision on the mRNA DNA thing. And they're saying that people who have got the shot are no longer pure human, so they're not covered under the Human Rights Act. So what's your thoughts on how they're going to fix that? Are they going to have to make a whole new act? Or are they just going to leave them in limbo and say, well, we'll get to it down, it's red tape, because it's red tape. See, it's red. Or are they going to kind of adjust the current Human Rights Act to include chimeras? What do you think?
That's kind of creepy. That's not really Orwellian. That's more like Isaac Asimov,
Yeah.
Kind of science fiction, right?
Yeah.
Do robots dream of electric sheep? Oh, I'm thinking Blade Runner.
It's scary to think. It's scary to think that people were lured into this and or forced into this through their jobs. Hey, either get the job or don't come to work. Well, I'd be suing them for a wrongful death, but a wrongful firing. But most people just don't want the hassle. They just get the shot. But so all those people, and then people that were given it free, thinking it was a vaccine, when it's not yet a vaccine. I'm going to prove that tonight in a video. So I feel bad for those people. And what are they not going to be able to fight for anything? I mean, are all the rights? And this is what I haven't read yet. Are all the rights?
You can send me that link, Elle, in the private chat, and I can put it on the comment section here, so our viewers can read there too.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though, too, folks, because then they start talking about these variants too. The so-called Lambda variant and the so-called was it the Delta variant too? So if you get your two shots, if you get your two initial shots, you should be protected based on the data what was a month ago, and then now you get these two shots, you're still susceptible. Like, well, what is this then? I thought those two shots were supposed to protect people, and now what? They're not. Which is it?
Yeah, well, they can't make up their mind. Okay, let's see. Facebook's so slow. If they were any slower, they'd be going backwards.
Yeah, I noticed that today when I was doing a little practice run here. I was posting something and it took forever. So, but in the meantime, when we get this, I'll put up a nice little picture of Justin in his traditional leadership garb for you all to watch and learn from. There's our great leader, eh? Oh, yes. Hello. My name is Justin Trudeau. I am part Canadian, part French, and part Cuban. Is that right, Papa Fidel? Yes. Look at me. Yes, of course. I'm so devilishly handsome and conniving. Yes. So feel free, ladies and gentlemen, to ask us any questions while Elle queues up the file there. And I'll share this file with there in the chat replay box too, so you guys can click at random and decide amongst yourselves. So this is Crusty Canucks FastBall Sunday. Hopefully Adam and Fred will make an appearance there today. Both busy individuals, have other things in the go. However, they are part of this panel. So please feel free to ask us anything you'd like us to know or anything you want to share with us too, please. It's encouraged. And if you like to hear what you see, please like, subscribe, and comment. Also, to my listeners out there, the podcast, if you guys are not getting notifications, let me know. I've had a couple of emails actually yesterday from a couple of individuals that were a little concerned because they like my show, they like what I got to say and all that, and they're not notified. And they click the bell all the time, apparently. So if anybody out there who's a fan of the podcast and the FastBall, let me know if you're not getting the information, please, and we'll work on that if we can. So, like I say, if you like it and hear what you see, please click like, subscribe, share this all around too. I'm trying to branch out. I'm also branching out on Wimkin, sorry. Wimkin, yes, Rumble and Brighteon too. So you'll find all my videos and work there. I upload there as well once I make a new podcast / video. When I posted on the tube, I posted those three places as well as Facebook. And please stay updated by checking out my community page on YouTube and my Facebook page as well for updates coming your way when new and exciting episodes of the Crusty Canuck podcast get produced. So let's see here. Why is the government and mainstream media silent on the court's ruling in favor of the people and revoking the emergency orders and mask mandates? I would say it's probably because maybe some justices are getting paid or promised a little tickle here and there. That's my best guess. I'm not a legal aficionado. I'm not a lawyer. I never claimed to be. I'm not a writer. I'm not a journalist. But I think it's a matter of saving their asses, if anything, just like the medical professionals that constantly promote this whole wear one mask or wear two gloves, use a glory hole for sexual satisfaction. You know, that kind of bullshit they were promoting last year. So,
Yeah.
that's my best guess, Del. What do you have to say?
Wow. I still really I don't understand why we need all this technology. You know, you were talking about mosquitoes, right?
Justice says that know that the law is being broken, but they refuse to do anything about it. Basically, you know, why the government, like I say, from J. DeRosier there, why the government and mainstream media are silent on the court's ruling in favor of the people and revoking the emergency orders and mask mandates. You know, of course, the media would have its share of that too, because fear is good ratings, right?
Yeah.
Of course it is. And a lot of these producers and a lot of editors know what's going to sell. And basically, because there was a government handout there a few years back, some of these papers are going to write what they're told to write. You know?
Protocols. See, I have the PDF. I just can't find who sent me the link. I know a few people sent it to me, and man, how annoying! Facebook's not loading. Let me try my email here. But yeah, no, it's basically the Supreme Court has ruled that people who got the jab are no longer considered full human, so aren't protected under the Human Rights Act worldwide, because whatever goes through patent is so they are now patentable, and they're owned by whoever owns the shot that they got, like Pfizer or Moderna or whoever will own those people, right? This all just really blow away. And when I seen that the Supreme Court was involved in deciding on this kind of stuff, it just blew me away. I will find it here.
Okay, no worries. Do what you can. So please, ladies and gentlemen, ask us anything you'd like to know. Myself, Crusty Canuck, or Elle Sophia Rossetti. She doesn't talk with her hands, but you know, I has to say.
I actually do. I'm not on video though. Well, on my videos, I actually do. I'm constantly. I see myself moving my hands. I'm like, you're so Italian. But on live stream, I don't. Okay.
That's interesting you bring that up, because so now these people have these shots. They're now deemed as property somewhere legally, or what?
Yeah. And actually, they whoever owns the jab that they got, and that could be dual companies, because people are getting shots mixed, right? But they will own you, and they can patent you. They can make money on you and experiment on you and all this other stuff. And the people weren't told this beforehand, right? This is all kind of coming out now after they've got the jab or been forced to get the jab through work, as I said. And now they're finding out that they're owned. Like, what the hell? So just trying to find this here. But yeah, so that's the whole gist of it. I can send you the PDF. I don't know where it can be posted. See, a lot of people aren't on Facebook, but I can send it to you in the email.
Yeah, do it that way, and then
send it here right now.
That's the thing, folks, too. So Elle's going to send me that via email, and then if you'd like a copy of that, just send me an email at crustybcanuck67@gmail.com, right at the bottom of your screen there, and I'll send you a copy of that as well. I'll distribute it accordingly. So let us know there in the comments or via email, folks, if you'd like a copy of that. Seems to be an interesting read. So,
yeah, it's a long read, but it's one people should read because it affects the whole world. It's not just for the U.S., right?
Mm-hmm.
And
interesting.
Yeah, it's just weird. It just weirded me out knowing the Supreme Court's deciding on this. Like it's, we're gonna have spaghetti for lunch, or pork chops, right? It's like, come on, we're talking about people's lives here. We're talking about their existence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is just creepy.
Indeed.
It's very, very 1984. But
Justin Trudeau made a nice comment. In 10 years, the government will retire the Canadian flag all about the United Nations.
Mhm.
Now, I think there's a possibility of that too. And with what happened in Toronto recently with Mayor Tory spending roughly $6.3 million, I believe, according to True North Media, changing the name Dundas because some kind of die model expert, diversity, inclusion, and equity expert, polled, I think, a matter of 25 to 30 people in changing the Dundas name. So that means every overpass sign, every street sign indicating where Dundas Street is, and every Dundas Street sign is going to be removed because the name is too offensive. I don't know the history of Mr. Dundas. Apparently, he was a slave owner, I guess, in the day. So they got to change that at the price tag of $6.3 million. And to my Toronto viewers and listeners out there, I am sure that $6.3 million could go to better things other than changing an effing sign or
Yeah,
signs.
because of some idiot who's going on models, I guess, kind of like they were with the COVID numbers. But yeah, it's all just a way to waste money. He probably has a buddy that runs the company that's going to be in charge of all making all the signs.
Oh, possibly.
Right?
They're contracted.
It's got to be something like that. Tory's corporate. He's on the board at Rogers and on the board at Bell. Okay. He's got corporate connections up the ass. All these people know people who own companies, and they get the contracts.
Oh, no doubt. Of course, there'd be an ethics issue there too. But just the fact of anyone putting together a poll and not asking, the city of Toronto, just asking a few people, right? Like I said, okay, what's population of Toronto now? The GTA, I think, is roughly what, 4 million, maybe?
About 5 mil.
5 million. So they've asked, what, 30 people? 30 people. How do you feel about this street sign? Oh, I think it's offensive. Get rid of it. I cannot sleep anymore knowing there's a sign called Dundas. How dare you? Change it now. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
And
for sure.
You can't compare these historical figures. Let's say you're not going to go to Germany and find a road that says Hitler Avenue or Hitler Street or Schmackende Hitler or whatever. You're not going to see that.
Heil Hitler, yeah.
You're not going to see a soccer team named after him anytime soon, or a beer for that matter. Okay, that's common sense, right?
Yeah.
But I'm still dumbfounded. It's like people cannot live their lives thoroughly and fully without worrying about a goddamn street sign.
Well, really? What is the name Dundas? What's so offensive about it? That's what I want to know.
I should be researching it too, but apparently I guess he had some connections to the slave trade back in the day. Now it's not concrete. But see, that's the thing though. That's the 1860s. That's 150 years ago.
When slaves were legal then. Yeah, slaves were legal. Right.
There was Dundas. There's a Dundas Street in London, Ontario, too. Are they going to change that as well to follow suit?
Wow, right? If they can afford $1.3 million, if they can afford $1.3 million for a house for junkies to go crash out, watch TV, and have a shower before they go head off to find more drugs, then they can afford that. What the hell?
Of course, because last time I was in London, Ontario was 2014. And I was very disappointed at how filthy it became based on what it was when I was there in the early 90s doing the punk rock thing. So, but
it's changed. It's even in the 11 years that I'm there, it's changed quite a bit. So it's a good thing most of my appointments are over the phone because I don't even have to go there.
Make an appearance. Step on a syringe or something.
Yeah, that's what it would be. Yeah, for sure.
Because the last time I was on Dundas Street in London, Ontario, went to a Starbucks, grabbed a coffee. Terrible coffee, by the way. And of course, used the bathroom to wash my hands, and there's a needle box. Oh, how convenient. What am I, in a hospital? No, I'm in a coffee shop in downtown. Right, a needle box. So here, go get yourself a mochaccino and shoot up some heroin and drop your needle off in the box, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
Priorities, people. Priorities. Right.
Yeah, I know. It's better than them laying all over the ground, but still, I don't know. It just seems like they're band-aiding all these problems and nothing's getting better.
Well, when you look at the price tag, $6.5 million to change signs.
Yeah.
Like,
but Dundas is a long street. There's a lot of signs and a lot of bridges and a lot of this and that. And what about companies that have the name Dundas? You know, like, have they thought about that? What, are they going to be encouraged to change their company name now if they have Dundas in the title or something?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just seems really foolish to me. It seems like here they started painting the cop cars gray. Okay? It was kind of a sleepy gray. And they have these like really small lights on them and stuff. But people were saying they were intimidated by the color. So now they've stopped making those cars that color. But what's so intimidating? If you're not doing wrong, why are you intimidated by the police?
Yeah.
Right? Why does that color trigger you? Like, that's what I ask. Like, why are we changing shit for these oversensitive pussies? And I think it was Jay that said Canada is just full of a bunch of oversensitive pussies, and I agree.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Everyone's a victim. Everyone's a whiner, right?
Oh, the woe is me. Oh, goodness. Oh.
Yeah.
Dave Hemington says, our own government was complacent in selling white slave children in Canada.
Yeah.
Check out British home children. My grandfather was indentured orphan in 1923. And I remember we touched on that briefly in school about that. Kids that were adopted from Britain, sent to Canada to basically work in Canadian farms and fields, right? And that was just after the time where people authorized the use of children in places like coal mines and railway stations, slave labor. Here's a meager salary. You might get to sleep tonight. You might get something to eat. So, yeah, that's a part of our history that's just as terrible too.
Yeah.
Right. So that's thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Parts in every country's history. I don't care who it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Big time. So let's see here. From Justin Trudeau, we should legalize drugs because a regulated company was making the drugs instead of gangsters. There'd be quality control. Possibly. Sure. But I also look at the fact of which is a crime. If someone's shooting up heroin, fine. Let them shoot up heroin. That's their decision. But put your needle away. Put it someplace where it's safe. At your expense, not the state's expense. Right? The way I look at it, I don't care who smokes dope.
I'd rather things stay on the streets, personally, because at least you're getting, look, basically all these regulated companies, these drug companies, are owned by the Rockefellers. Okay, they are the drug cartel of the planet. So, and basically, if they're not, they're owned by some other douchebag corporation. So, they already have enough money. A lot of things. We need money on the streets. We need a couple of gangsters spending their money on this, instead of.
I would agree with that too.
These rich corporations and
I would agree with
Rockefellers taking it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, look at government control weed.
That's why I didn't want it legalized. I want it decriminalized, because they become drug dealers. Not only are they pimping out this GMO weed, which is horrible, but it's giving money to the corrupt who are, already got too much money as it is. And they failed. They're losing at selling pot. No one in the history has ever lost, unless they smoke their stash, has ever lost selling pot. So, it would have been better. And I guess the Hells Angels have a lawsuit going for $10 million, or is it 10 billion? I guess 10 billion. To get their money back from the drug trade they lost when he legalized it. So
that works.
Let's see what happens. And I'd rather see it on the streets. At least if people on the streets have the money, they're spending it local, right? They're encouraging stimulating their economies. Unlike the government, who just takes it all and gives it to their rich friends, not in Canada, their rich friends abroad, like the UN and all these other elitists. I'm not going to name names because I might end up dying mysteriously walking my dog. But
so I got a question here.
Okay.
Chris Semchuk, who was drawn the Highway 16 Yellowhead, named after Thompson, Lewis and Clark, a way for historical perspective as far as navigator and geographical historian talk about slave labor and child labor. Can you emphasize a little more on that? Be more specific there, Chris. Yeah. I never looked in the history of Yellowhead. I know it was a trade route. I know it goes back to the fur trading days. If you can emphasize, Chris, that'd be great. I'll look it up sometime later. So, federal government's job is to protect our sovereignty, and that is all. That's how they are doing it. And that's so Simchuck out. Have a good night. Take care. Okay. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for coming anyway. So, but that's the thing. I personally don't care who does drugs. Fine, as long as you're operating machinery. You know, you're like, say, if you're working a backhoe and you have a lunch break and you decide to stop and smoke a spliff, go home. You know, get someone else to work that backhoe, or if you're driving a truck, fine. I don't care who smokes dope. If you're on heroin, do it at your own expense. It's the same thing as people who drink. If you drink, your own expense. I just remember all the emphasis that was done to worry about, we got to stop drugs coming in here. Stop drugs. All drugs are so bad. And yeah, it can ruin your life if you let it. You know, but in a way, I'm an addict too. You know, I still take the odd drink. All right. 2 nights ago, I had a nice Ryan Coke. Oh shit! It's 10 o'clock at night, watching Shark Week, having a Ryan Coke. Ooh. Oh, you're so
Bring
fat.
on blood and guts.
Heavens forbid. Oh my god. Watching a great white gnaw on a little fucking radar thing. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's a big fish. Hey. I'm a qualified scuba diver, so I'd love to be in a cage watching that shark do its thing. That'd be fantastic. Yeah. But no, sorry, I'm in Alberta. No oceanfront property here. So, you know, maybe go dive in the lake.
The first cages I saw were on Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah.
He used to chuck Philippe in there. Hey, you go test the sharks. Cage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So a lot of history there, but you know, I always look forward to Shark Week every year because it's fascinating, the data, and how they find certain migration patterns and there's certain waters that they're found in. It's just, it's a great show.
Yeah.
Just this year was disappointed because, like I say, they had Brad Paisley underwater with his guitar trying to attract tiger sharks. I'm like, really? You're losing ideas? You're that desperate for ideas? You know? I'm not crediting his credibility as a musician, but
yeah, he could actually make some music or something. Who knows? You know, he's a musician.
Yeah, but come on, Discovery, you guys can do better than that. Oh. Really. Yeah, really. So let's see. From GDR the maker. David Thompson mapped the route and established the trade route with several trade agreements and neighbor tribes. Okay. Thank you, GDR. Appreciate that insight. Yes. So I knew it had something to do with the fur trade, right? So okay. Appreciate that. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any points or proof or whatever explanations, please bring it to my attention. Like I say, you can reach me via here, FastBall Sunday, or by my email at the bottom of your screen there. Or anytime I go live, or anytime I put out a show. I try to get an episode up at least every Tuesday and Friday for you, my fans out there, if you're interested. So pay attention to my community page on YouTube and my Facebook page for updates on that as well. Try to have an episode out this Tuesday. Still working on more topics, but of course, it's, you know, there's more to my show than just dissing Trudeau. There is. So, of course, that's just, he's been in the news lately trying to win brownie points because we all know an election's coming. But I will tell you, my audience and new viewers and fans to the show, this coming election, if it does come, let's say hypothetically they call it in August and it comes in October, vote for the better person that's going to represent you. Okay? You yourself. Look at yourself as an individual and ask yourself, what do I need? How am I going to be secure? How am I going to keep my money? Because really, this past year and a half has been a toll on everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor. It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer. Doesn't matter if you sell shoes or liquor or groceries or gasoline. Doesn't matter if you have 1 kid or 2.8 kids. Doesn't matter who you love. Doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, trans, bi, tri, whatever abbreviation that's out there. How is this election going to affect you? Okay. We all have human rights here. No one's taken away your right to be. But we've seen the proof. People are going to take away your right to think for yourself, to read what you want, to do what you want online. So there's something there when it comes to freedom. Freedom of expression is paramount. That goes with freedom of speech. And don't hand me this SJW mandate about, oh, well, there's consequences. We know that. But what kind of consequences do you want if you speak your mind?
Yeah.
We have government officials that are encouraging people to rat you out. That's one thing. We have more government officials encouraging you to tell on people when they say bad things. So think about the individual that is going to represent you and promote democracy, freedom, and security and peace of mind. Not the CERB payment, not the CEBA payment. Those will run out. Who's going to allow you to bring your stuff to market? Who's going to allow you to get into said market? Who's going to allow you to make your money, to pay your little share of tax? That's fine, but it'll let you thrive. There's choices out there for you, ladies and gentlemen. We just got to choose wiser. That's all. Don't buy Mr. Perk Plus's persona, and Mr. Aaron O'Toole can't decide whether he's coming or going. And we all know Mr. Yagmeet Singh is always pulling the race card left and right. Yet people forget that they all come from backgrounds of well-to-doers.
Yeah.
They all come from certain backgrounds where they have had information given to them, opportunities given to them, rather than getting off their duffs and earning said opportunities like the rest of us. So, something to think about when it comes to a federal election, ladies and gentlemen. Something to think about. Okay?
Definitely.
That's the thing. And it doesn't matter who you vote for, but vote who you think is going to be the better person. And if you don't want to vote, get out and vote anyway. Make a solid decision because you need the numbers. Okay? Don't buy the hype what CBC says or CTV says or first past the post. Get out there, make it count. And make sure the powers that be at said election office take your ballot and you fold it properly and you stick it in said elections box. Make sure it's done because it starts with you, ladies and gentlemen, and it ends with you too.
You got to vote your conscience and you got to look at the platforms. Don't just vote for your favorite color or who's got the nice hair. Or, that pisses me off when I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got nice hair. But he's taking the country and throwing it in the toilet. Eat it. I don't know. It's just everybody seems to be an airhead when they go and vote. And, they have my favorite color. It doesn't matter. They're going to kill the country.
That's the thing. Don't vote for comfort. Comfort is something you as an individual have to make for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But when said politicians, said leaders, said know-it-alls start compromising your ability to be comfortable, then you got something to think about. And this past year and a half has proven that 10 times forward.
Yeah.
So, Justin Trudeau, you can call Tuesday's episode Knuckleball or Screwball. I said, well, I'll just call it the podcast. But, I appreciate that incentive. Welcome to Tuesday's Knuckleball. Welcome to Thursday's Screwball. Welcome to Friday Fuckball. Pardon my bomb there, ladies and gentlemen. But,
yeah. No, it's insane. It's just, I have always... the stupid thing is now people are like, well, if you vote for them, you can't be my friend. What? I don't ever remember that being an issue.
What are we in grade 3 again?
Yeah, it was never a requisition with me who somebody voted for you. It's none of your friggin' business. Yeah. It's a private thing, and you're not obligated to tell anybody. Right?
Well, see, that's the thing too. It's the etiquette I was taught as a kid. Okay, you don't really ask who you vote for. You don't ask what your religion is. Okay, and even with that, even if you do know the information of someone's religion or someone's voting preferences, fine. You don't attack that person. Like where I grew up, my parents were very, very staunch, liberal-minded people. Okay, and I think my dad confessed to me once that he voted conservative. Okay,
yeah.
Now that's at a time too where I thought liberalism was pretty cool. This is back in the early 90s, young, dumb, full of cum, whatever. But now I'm not seeing too much advantage promoted by the federal conservatives, with the exception of the healthy opposition by Pierre Poilievre, Rachel Harder, Michelle Rempel, all those good individuals that have stood up in Parliament and said, no, we're not going to tolerate this because, and the way parliamentarians should act. And some members of the NDP standing up and saying no, and even some members of Le Bloc standing up and saying no. I get it. That's the exchange of our parliamentary system works.
Yeah.
But when they try to make these people look like down-to-earth individuals, I'm sure we've all seen that picture of Justin kneeling on that grave marker with that teddy bear. How pathetic was that? Honestly. Like, he really cares. No, he doesn't care. Because I'm almost positive he's had inside information based on his childhood, based on what his father might have told him, or other people might have told him that he grew up with, on knowing the actual involvement that the Trudeau government, Pierre's government, had involved with the residential schooling system.
Yeah.
As well as being brought up Catholic, too. So there's some more information as well. And I'm not trying to disenfranchise anybody out there who is Catholic. Go your light. If your faith tells you to do this, fine. But if your faith tells you to hurt people and screw people over, maybe you should get a better faith. That's just me, though. So.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's convoluted.
It is. It's all shapes of shit.
Well, it's, like with him, it's smoke and mirrors, and we all know that. But, it's just, why even do it? That's what I don't get. And the point is, a lot of those people that we just mentioned really aren't fighting for us. They're fighting for themselves, especially with their PC party. I mean, yeah, you can like Max Bernier, but he was in the PC for 15 years. You can like Randy Hillier. He's been a lifetime PC person. These people have all been part of a corrupt party. So I really have a hard time buying that any one of them are standing for us. I mean, I don't know. I kind of like Derek Sloan myself. I kind of like him because he's, but again, he's part of a PC party that is corrupt. They are corrupt. And this Aaron O'Toole, the real Toole, is, he's a globalist sellout. They're all liberal light.
Well, I was hoping that he gained victory after the appointment. Okay, rightfully so. But then again, the moment he started talking about the carbon savings account, okay, stepping back on the carbon tax because he swore to get rid of it, but if elected, he'll promote a carbon savings account.
Yeah,
what the hell is that?
That's a screw you for your money, and then.
Yeah.
It's the same as the other ones. He's just making it sound better. He's trying to package it up nicer. We don't want to hear carbon anything. We want to hear carbon tax eliminated. That's what we want to hear.
Precisely. And you look at the prices of gasoline all over the country. What's the price of gas in your area right now?
$1.25 last I looked.
Yeah, we went up to about $1.32.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's fluctuating. And I think someone said to me last week, or I think in my last episode, they're up at about $1.60.
Holy, that must be in the rural area.
Probably, yeah.
Northern Ontario will probably be close to $2 right now.
Jesus, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, you can't get gas anywhere else. The next gas station's like 200-300 kilometers, and they got you, right? So if you don't have enough gas to get that far, they got you, and you'll pay whatever you have to pay. You don't have a choice. No, so I always had lots of gas cans in the back, so I could avoid that, buy it where it was cheaper, and then use it.
Same here. I got a couple too. I've got a couple keep on standby. One for my lawnmower, and another one for those emergencies. We need a few liters here and there. Okay, we're good. Yeah. So Jeremy Jackson, $1.38 when he went today. Holy shit!
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And where are you, Jeremy? Because I'm in southwestern Ontario, and we're kind of competitive here. But okay, well, wherever you are,
Gabriel's, yeah, Gabriel Shear's little thing. I don't think you met Gabriel yet, there, Elle. No. Belfast Party is exploding over Saskatchewan. Next election is going to be lit. Would that be the federal or the provincial? There, friendly.
Oh, Waterloo. Okay.
Waterloo. Yeah, still. Okay. Well, not too far from your area.
No, not too far at all.
not too far. Yeah.
That's southwestern Ontario. That's the horseshoe. Yeah. So I mean, basically, wow, buck
36
38,
Ottawa. Holy shit, over.
136. It must be close to that here too. You know.
Yeah. Jesus. Friendly Park, provincial election. Yeah. Provincial Saskatchewan, of course. Yeah. It's funny. My wife and I were talking briefly, and she says, "Well, if of course you're not going to get elected in the federal election, but what if what if you don't? You get a few votes and you don't get a job?" And I said, "Well, maybe I might go into provincial politics as well too, because I don't want to see Notley calling the shots ever again out here.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any more of those pseudo-communist SJW mandates plaguing our provincial system because someone might be offended. I've had people in my face call me every name in the book. And that was after I became a soldier. Not to mention what they were saying to me during I became a soldier.
Wow. Yeah. Well, no, Jason Kenney's got to go. Jason
Jesus.
Kenney's got to go. He's
in Cambridge. Totally, so roughly in the $1.30 mark in that part of Ontario.
Wow, okay. That's crazy. 129, $1,299 a liter. Wow, 136.
$1.29.9.
That's crazy. Yeah, it must be near that here.
So closest to the nearest cent, yeah. So we'll say $1.37 for shits and giggles. $1.40. Wow, So
last time I seen that was in 2004, I think, when I was heading out to BC. It was $1.50 a liter here. It was like, or $1.55 or something. Then it got more expensive up north. Like I said, they were just over $2 up north. So
it's just the tax. It's a provincial and it's federal tax. Yeah. It has nothing to do with the gas companies. It has nothing to do with the refineries. It's the tax that goes onto it too. It's the same thing here with these, right?
Yeah.
It's a provincial cut and it's a federal cut. Mm-hmm. Right? It gives them an excuse to spend more money to put us more into debt. Mm-hmm. And now they talk about the housing bubble, whatever, because I was looking at prices of lumber the other day and I said, I'm going to wait till August. And I had some inside information from actual carpenters that said, buy your lumber first week of August after the civic holiday. Mm-hmm. So, because it's probably going to go down. So, which is good. I don't feel like spending a small mortgage payment on a couple of sheets of plywood.
No, definitely. No. That's insane.
Oh, from Gil Gilbert, another member of the VCP. Heard Ford said there'd be no vaccine passports, yet a lot of businesses are leaning that way for one to patronize their establishments. And with that following discrimination, I would say so.
If it's not mandated by government, they really they're stupid to mandate it if the government's not, because you know what they're doing? They're killing their business.
Well, see, that becomes law too. And I agree with a business owner's right to refuse service based on, let's say, hygienic grounds, or let's say if you're drunk.
No shirt, no shoes, no service kind of
deal. Like common sense things, right? When I was selling liquor, I had to turn on a couple of customers because they were drunk, like they were inebriated, right? Because legally speaking, this individual buys a bottle of vodka or rye, he drinks some more, he hops into his car. Who's to say he's not going to drive his car somewhere and drive into something or someone? And then what? Then they investigate where this individual got this liquor. I sold this guy the liquor. Then guess what? I get in trouble too. So it's not just someone looking after someone too. It's covering your butt.
Yeah.
So if these businesses want to do that, fine. Then, like you said, Al, they're going to lose revenue. People are going to say, don't go to that shop. That guy's an asshole. He wants to see information on my cell phone to prove I got vaccinated. And it's also
places are going to be going, hey, come to us. We're not going to require the vaccine.
Precisely. We'll give you $2 off your meal if you don't tell us a goddamn thing.
If you don't even mention COVID, we'll give you $3.
If you tell us to go fuck our hats, we'll give you a free steak. How's that sound? There you go. Right?
Yeah. But you're going to pay $20 for the little couple of peas and some mashed potatoes.
That's right. Oh, but my steak comes from Markdale, Ontario. Well, my steak comes from Alberta, so screw you. That's right. Vaccine? What's that? I'm having a steak. Jog on. Right? So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's I think it'll create competition if places do. But the problem is that schools and stuff like Seneca College and all that are saying they're demanding vaccine passports from there or proof of vaccination.
I would like to tell those administrations at those schools to take a flying leap too, because students, regardless if they have a student loan or they pay their way or their parents pay their way for them, it costs a lot of money for post-secondary education.
Yeah.
So basically you're buying a service.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the administration should have nothing to do with what you put in your body, whether you inhale tobacco or marijuana or drink. This administration should have no jurisdiction in what you put in your body, period. Now, that's my opinion. Justin Trudeau. Oh, carry on. What were we going to say, Al?
Well, no, Gil's right that the vaccines don't prevent you from catching or spreading COVID or any other flu. So basically, why is it so, in a rush to demand vaccine passports? It's almost like a push for totalitarianism. Right?
Well, it is.
It's what it feels like to me. Like it's stores are in on it and schools are in on it, or they're being told to, like Ford, when he lost the lawsuit to Rocco Galati, when he first made the provisions or the bylaw for COVID, there was no exemptions. Rocco sued him and won. He put in the provisions, and then he turned around behind the scenes and told the stores, you get caught with anyone no mask in your store, you're getting a $10,000 or $100,000 fine. So the stores were just demanding masks, and people have been doing it instead of boycotting them, right? So now it's come to the point where they're going to do the same with the vaccine passports. They're going to leave it in the stores and the schools and the businesses' hands.
Definitely.
That's not right, because it's not rule of law. It's not mandated. So they can't even really do that. But I think they're foolish to do it, but that's where they're leaning towards. All those places.
Yeah, they'll say they're not going to do it, but behind closed doors, here's a slap and tickle for you. Right? Justin Trudeau, if you were a dual citizen, would you rather live in the USA or Canada? Well, it depends. As much as I love my nation, and I do love my nation because I fought for this nation, a lot of my brothers and sisters that are not with us today fought for said nation too. If I had dual citizenship, yeah, I would go to where I could actually have the freedom to be. If I was dual citizen right now, yes, I would definitely go try out Texas and Florida for sure. Just because the scenery is nice. I've talked to a lot of people from both those states, down to earth people. I don't get all the stupid comments. Oh, you're Canadian, eh? I've met some wonderful people in Texas when I worked down there when I was in the Army. Just down to earth, genuine human beings, all colors and creeds. So I would go back and forth if I had dual citizenship. But that takes money. That's some money I don't have right now. So that's why you, my viewers, that's why I ask for donations. I'm not saying fund me to Texas, but I'd like to make this a full-time commitment, and it takes viewers such as yourselves out there to make that happen. So please consider. But yeah, that's a good question, Justin. Yeah, I would be a dual citizen, and I'd probably spend a lot of time, let's say, in Texas or Florida. I enjoyed Mississippi when I was there briefly. I enjoyed that place. And I really like Boston. Boston is a cool town. I was there in 2000, and I had a blast there. I met some really cool people there. So, but if I was a dual citizen, I'd probably set up shop in Texas, probably because they're lax with gun laws, and it's a do or don't situation. It's like that old saying, fuck around and find out. And I'm not going to fuck around, because I know some Texans are genuine, hardworking people, and you mess with their family, say goodnight, Lucy. So
that's why they got a thing called a Texas burial.
Well,
or the Texas divorce. That's even better.
Gil Gilbert, again, these establishments must be made aware of their facts that even though the people who got the vaccines are still susceptible to yeah, see, I think you talked about that. And that's what gets me too, when it's like they tell you again, get your 2 shots, you'll be fine. But now all these different variants. So which is it then? So why did I have to wait, sit on my hands and wait till you come up with a vaccine? Because the procurement process to get these vaccines in this country was a goddamn joke. Yeah. Okay. You know as well as I do. These are the people that actually try to buy machinery and equipment for our military. And how's that working out? Procurement board, right? Bunch of assholes. And in the same sense, now they're telling us, well, okay, these won't protect you from this. And it's like, well, if I get my flu shot every year, which I haven't done, and I haven't had the flu, which is it? Like, yay or nay? So it's total indecisive bullshit. Harness the control, tell people how they got to be again, just to make sure you fuckers get your paychecks, basically. Elle, care to weigh in?
Well, I think it's a bad idea. Period. And it's just promoting something that we're fighting. And myself, I would stay in Canada simply because I have to fight. But if it was this not dire situation it was here, I would say go to the U.S. simply on the count of the senators or whoever runs the state senator, have more control over their state than the federal government, where here it's reversed. The federal government actually has more pull over us than our so-called premiers. So there's a few states that I would like to go to. But the point is, the U.S. is no better off right now. Look where they're at. They're being overrun by Democrats. Mm-hmm. They got a Democrat president who's a total loser. And that, I don't know. I'm trying to weigh which one's in more peril. I know Canada is technically, but this is still fightable. If we can get enough people, this is still fightable. I don't know. The U.S. is going to have civil war, a modern day civil war, and they will if they try and go too far. I know a lot of people who will not give up their guns. They will, use them.
And there's a lot of Canadians that won't give up their guns either, too. And
I don't know. I hear that, but I think when it comes time, they're going to.
If it comes to someone knocking down my door in the middle of the night, I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, put it this way: it's like a trucker, Terry, had sent me a video, and he said this: when they do the arrests, it's going to be nasty. They're going to drag you out in your underwear at 3 or 4 in the morning, throw you on the front lawn in the middle of October or December, and they're going to search your house for your guns. And they're going to have the news crews all sitting there taping you, filming it, to be examples for the other people, okay? He said it's not going to be pretty, and they're going to be rough, and it's going to be military and RCMP. So that's what I'm thinking. Anyone who's smart, and I'm not encouraging this, but I'm just saying, if people had a break and enter and their guns got stolen and they actually put them away or something instead, then those people I consider serious gun people who actually want to keep their guns. But these other people who are going to pull the guns on the army and or the RCMP, it's a death trap. They're going to die.
Oh, it'll be the same for American brothers and sisters too. Who's going to take their guns?
I don't know, because there's so many. You got to understand, every house out there has at least 2 or 3 guns in it. Okay?
Oh, sure. And they'll send state troopers, and they'll send local militia or the National Guards to do the same thing.
They don't have enough people. They don't have enough cops or military to carry that off.
There will be a standoff. There will be an exchange of fire one way or the other. And that's what I don't want to see up here. I don't want to see an exchange of fire between civilians and police. I don't want to see that.
No.
But if push comes to shove, what happens to a dog when you back him into a corner? 1, he'll either submit, or 2, the biting will begin. So,
but I out of the 11% of Canadians who own guns, I'm betting there's about maybe 0.5% that'll actually pull their guns and use them to keep them. And that would be a death trap, because you know what? As much as it was nice back in the 1700s or whatever, 1776 and all that, they have technology now that's beyond. They could send a drone over and blow your house up, right? I mean, seriously. I mean, they got all this technology. They got these stupid satellites that can read a license plate from space. Mm-hmm. And they can find you. They can seek you with heat seeking shit. And we're fighting a lot more technology than they were back in the days of the muskets. Okay.
Oh God, yes. God,
And
yes.
so it
The
would be
past 20
actually
years, technology has changed drastically. Look how many drones you can put in the sky now to deliver medicine in parcels.
Yeah.
Who's to say they won't deliver cyanide someplace?
Exactly.
Right?
So,
Mike Baker says China will walk into Canada. China will fight to get into the United States.
yeah.
If it came to
They're
a
already
conventional
here.
war, yeah.
They're
If
already
it came
here.
to something conventional, I would say so. Sure.
Yeah.
He also says too, die on your knees or standing. Well, I personally will die standing.
Yeah, me too.
Or running or whatever, fucking running to the fight. I'm not gonna.
Well, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees.
Mm.
A 3D printer in about 6 hours. Yeah, and there's even zip guns you can make. I mean, you never get away from it. The key is to have the bullet making machines and all the stocks of gunpowder and whatever other stuff you need to make bullets with.
Well,
That's
even go
how-
back to the old guerrilla tactics, simple bows and arrows, guerrilla tactics and that, fighting en masse.
Yeah.
Right? It's amazing what you can do with a rock and a slingshot. Right?
Mhm.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
That's the thing. Let's say population keeps me away. I'm a dual citizen, but I don't want to be around 370 million people during a famine.
Agreed.
Same here. I don't, because then you get all the Mad Max scenarios going in your head, right? In a way, you can thank God television and movie industry for bringing that to light. Well, what if scenario? But then again, you don't want those what if scenarios dancing in your head. Yeah. But I can see that being so. If you do have access to certain dry goods, stock up what you can. I'm not saying go out and spend $1,000 on nothing but dry goods, bits and pieces here and there. Know how to make a loaf of bread, how to preserve basic things. It's amazing what you can do with 10 pounds of rice.
Yeah.
10 pounds of noodles, 10 pounds of dried beans, navy beans, soup beans. It's amazing what you can do. And considering we are resilient creatures when it comes to our anatomy, we can survive after one good meal a day.
Yeah.
The Japanese did it in World War II. They had a bowl of rice a day, and look what they conquered. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So it's something to think about. We are creatures of comfort. I get that. We are creatures of convenient. I get that. But we've all had a taste of the discomfort, especially I think the majority of us this past year and a half when it comes to regulations and what to say, and more jurisdictions. Oh, you can't walk this way. You can't say this. Yeah, boy, no, don't you say that word. That's hateful. Yeah. So.
Yeah, Gil, they actually did. There's been a couple of states that have discovered the votes were definitely fixed. It was more blatantly obvious. I'm following that. I just don't know about doing a video about it because the U.S. doesn't want to hear about shit from their country from a Canadian. They get offended for some reason. But
well, when you look at a guy like Tucker Carlson, who's reported some of the buffoonery that Trudeau is promoting, I think there are friends. I'm not a big fan of Fox News. I'm not dissing Fox News, but I would sooner watch Fox than CNN any day.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's a little more entertaining.
Well, Fox has three people I like, and that's Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, and Laura Ingraham. And, those three are, have been the staple of truth in that network. And the other ones are just disinformation specialists, like CNN flunkies. So I don't know. It's just, Fox News is kind of a mix. I'm surprised they haven't got rid of Tucker, but he brings in too many viewers. And if they lost him, they would lose a large chunk of their viewers.
They would. Yeah, they would lose a chunk. Just some of this tongue-in-cheek common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spike
Definitely.
TV says you can make gunpowder piss. Really? Are you fibbing?
That just sounds kinky.
You could create some biohazard bombs out of piss if you really, really wanted to. I know Chinese resistance used to piss in the wells as the Japanese was coming in. I think some Koreans did it too against the North for a long time. But
they have power generators that run on urine now instead of gasoline.
That could work.
Yeah. They found a way to convert piss to.
Well, you can. There was a guy who was talking about my homestead pages. I mentioned this in my last episode. How they extract methane from garbage dumps.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. think of the methane you could produce. The same as propane, right? Because I think you can contain it the same as you can propane.
Mm-hmm.
And think of that cash crop, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Think of that. That'd be fantastic. Really, when you think about it, anybody who lives around a dump, and I'm not saying go live around a dump, but the general area, you can make a pipe that you could siphon off proper methane to heat your home or to power your home.
Wow.
As long as people are dumping garbage, you've got fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's green energy in my eyes.
No, see, Justin says powered by cow farts. Exactly.
Cow farts, yeah.
Cow farts, human farts, dog farts, everything you throw out in the trash.
Yeah.
Create your own methane. Look at people who have their own composters. How much methane can you accumulate out of that every year?
Yeah. Definitely.
Right? Is there a way you could contain that and create that kind of base gas? Who knows? Instead of taking carbon tax to fill their pockets, innovate ways. They keep talking about green tech. Well, there's some green tech right there. Mm-hmm. How do we make this better? How do we harness this energy? How do we harness this gas? How can we do that safely and efficiently? Mm-hmm. So when I get home from work and I want to turn the heat on, turn on the fart canister, voila, there we go. We've got gas.
Yeah.
Rather than seeing carbon levy, carbon charge, delivery charge every time you open up your power bill. See your own meter up there. So, oh, well, I've used so much today. I'm going to need so much more. Okay, I'll throw some food waste out in this barrel. A couple of days, let the gas generate. Voila, there we go. Done. Innovations, right?
Yeah.
Why are Canadians complacent with our government sending tax dollars as foreign aid when that money can be utilized? Yeah, exactly, Jill. Exactly. And that's one of the platforms, right? Abolish the foreign aid policies we have right now, or at least put them on hold. Okay. Sort the water issues out of all Canadians, not just the reservations, all Canadians. Okay. Let's open up the books to all these delegations that receive federal money that are supposed to look after the upkeep, and they fail to do it. Okay. Starting from the ground up. Cut the pay of the MPs, for starters. And I'm not saying, and Mr. Easter used to say, oh my God, that means every Canadian only gets 87 cents a day for that, or 87 cents on the dollar. It's not the point of giving it back to Canadians. It's investing it in Canada. Okay. It's not about money going to my wallet. It's about money to fix things. Right. They don't look at it that way. Of course not. Right.
No, it's all, I don't know. It's all screwed up, Crusty.
Oh, it is. It is. We have these common ideas, but who knows? That'll be part of my platform too, in cutting a certain pay here. Because my logic is, as I say, if I was elected, okay, I would graciously give some of that pay to some charities. 3 of my favorite charities: 2 Veterans Association food banks out here in Alberta, and my local Legion. That's a start. Okay. If it means I got to keep the lights on in said Legion, so be it. I don't mind. Because if I'm making $180,000 a year, I think I can share the wealth properly.
Yeah.
When people talk about sharing the wealth, it's like, well, that's up to an individual then, if he or she wants to do that. Mm-hmm. It's not up to us en masse. If you make 40 grand and I make 40 grand, who the hell is going to tell you how to share that money? That's your money. You work for it. Okay. You pay your taxes on it. I pay my taxes on my 40 grand too. If I want to give it to a charity, I will bloody well decide to do it. Yeah. That's not up to the government to decide. Well, they're sitting there okaying raises left and right. Oh, this perk and that perk and this slap and tickle and this reach around. Oh, great. Thank you. Oh, yeah, you're handsome. Love you too. Then why aren't they given the same amount of cash, right?
They don't give cash. They take cash.
Precisely.
There's no money in giving cash. Come on. What's wrong with you?
Well, like my trademark, humanity and merit wins the day.
You obviously weren't trained by Trudeau.
Well, I don't think Trudeau's ever trained for anything other than spoon-fed. So, the marker, composter, compressor, tank already in use in farms around the world. Yeah, okay. That's a technology that should be brought out to all of us too.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some green tech right there.
Yeah.
With the exception of using a raw material to make said containment. But as far as I'm concerned, instead of throwing out old propane tanks, can they not be recycled to carry the methane? I'm sure they can.
Yeah.
Really? I'm sure they can. I'm sure they have the same pressure, weights, and measures that can contain the methane fuel and do what you have to do.
Mhm.
Possibilities, right?
Yeah.
Even people generating their own wind electricity on their own property, little turbines you can purchase to
Yeah.
generate your own wind, right?
Yeah.
There's schematics out there for people to do it. They just don't want to put emphasis on it. They don't. They want people to rely on the grid, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Liberate teachers unions.
Yeah. I say we get rid of all unions.
Hmm.
All they do is suck a lot of money, but what do they really do? I haven't, everyone I know who's gone to the union for help have been screwed. So they're not really fulfilling their role as unions, because that's what they're there for, is to stand up for the worker, right?
Well, see, that's the idea. When we were taught that in civics, the union was supposed to represent the worker that's working 12 hours out of the day. Now, let's say, and the unions came in when people were making $1 a day, but $1 a day at that time did something for you. But to harness on unsafe conditions, okay, you're working at a refinery, okay, and there's molten metal going over the place, okay, protective gear, what have you, understand this, understand that, or any kind of foundry for that matter, when the industrial age was starting to go full bore here. I can understand the need of a union, but when I see stuff now, and I know people that work for unions, okay, I'm not trying to diss you gentlemen and ladies out there, but when did unions become the governing part of your life? Okay. When did unions step up and say, okay, you have to give us this much money every year to protect your rights? It's like, well, sorry, my rights are already protected. Why are you taking more money from me?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you having influence on my voting power? Why are you having influence on my daily life, on who I want to run this country? That's what gets me with some unions too. Stay the fuck out of politics. Represent your workers. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my logic, right?
Yeah. And I agree,
Gil
Gil.
says,
The number of senators for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say elect senators too. If we're going to keep a parliamentary system, okay, we should elect senators.
Yeah.
So elect a senator, let's say 3 months after the prime minister has been selected. Elect them on the same thing based on merit, qualifications, passion, love for country, love for a certain ideology, i.e., democracy, and then go from there.
I think
I
chiefs of
personally
police
believe
should also be elected.
Governor General.
No, chiefs of police.
I could stand by that too. Yeah, I could stand by that. And I would say let more communities decide about policing.
Yeah.
Rather than just federal jurisdiction. Okay, we're just going to throw the RCMP in here, and I'm not down to disenfranchise any RCMP members. I've worked with some overseas, and I played hockey with some. So down to earth, good human beings. This is not the show where I'm dissing the cops anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. But there's a little too much overreach for a lot of us own good. So,
yeah.
Let's see, Jagmeet. Yeah. Ironically enough, most of these big NDPers have always had lots of money, right?
Yeah.
And I don't care how people thought about Jack Layton. Okay, yeah, he was a decent lad, but he had a few bucks. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
Affordable housing for all of us. The cost of living doesn't meet the cost of rents. Yeah, exactly, because of inflation. I think the cost of housing would go down if there wasn't so much government red tape involved in it too.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the federal standards when it comes to housing and get back to a provincial standard, or to my American listeners out there, a state standard. Okay. And if we're going to go metric, let's put things metric. Because when I was building things, okay, I was taught metric. All of a sudden, here are fractions. Shit. Okay. I did the basics, but I'd like to look at a plan and not worry about, the power of 1 3/4 over, what. It's like, what? So, but yeah, I agree with that too. Let's see here. What have we got? More questions coming up, folks. Yes. GDR methane doesn't require a high pressure as propane. Okay. The inline propane. Yep, exactly what we're saying. Refurbish to methane. What would it take to refurbish those GDR? If you can put in the comments, that'd be good. I don't think it'd take much, would it? It's a matter of cleaning them out, if anything. So then we can create jobs. Oh, what a novel idea. While we do that, create green jobs. Well, smack my ass, call me Judy. There you go. Right? Creating jobs. Right?
Yeah.
Even most methane tanks are made of fiberglass composite, so it'd be plastic based. So not only would people relying on methane, you still have to rely on fossil fuels too to make the base. So that way everyone's happy. A little slap and tickle all over the place for the common man. Outstanding. See? Fucking great ideas. Yeah, what do we know, right? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Damn. Let's see. You need to get rid of those notwithstanding clause from our Charter of Rights. Yes, we do. I agree with that entirely. I could see at the time the logic of that being placed in there for the sake of an invading force coming in to destroy our lives, but now get rid of it. I agree. Get rid of it. Elle?
Yeah.
Get rid of it all.
Gone.
Get rid of it all. Okay. Let's see here. Looks like Fred and Adam didn't show up, but from Jill again. I have a family and friends who work for Chrysler. They say Chrysler's goal is only to manufacture electric vehicles by year 2035. Imagine the strain on our power grids in the very hot summer months, especially this summer. Yes. Governments now tell us to abstain from using ACs during these hot times as it overburdens the power grids. Wait until vehicles need to be plugged in. Sheesh, oy vey. Yes, exactly. What do you want us to do? You want us to stand this shit? Or you want us to sit this shit? What is it?
Yeah.
Do I use my left hand? Do I use my right hand? What is it you want me to do? I don't know what else to say. He nails it on the head, right? And then those colder months, because we have longer colder months and we do longer hot months, we turn up the heat. What do? Oh, the strain of the power system. All the more reasons for us to create our own hydroelectricity. Have the methane tanks. There we go. So
definitely, I think it's a good idea because there's a lot more methane that you don't have to dig out of the earth, like they do with propane and stuff. This stuff's actually on top of the surface. It's just a matter of scooping it from while it's rotting with garbage or whatever. But it's a good idea, I think.
Well,
like
even from the dumps,
water, so.
From the dumps too, right?
Yeah.
How many community dumps could contain so much methane to share with the surrounding area if need be?
Exactly.
That's the thing. Can you figure a piping system that you can bury underground that sticks right up to the dump that contains said methane and distribute it? Right? Can it be done? Well, they do it with pipelines all the time.
Yeah.
Can it be done with methane? I would say so.
Probably.
Really? I'm trying to understand my basic grade 10 science. I know it goes boom. It's flammable. So it's obviously a heat source. So, hey, there's an idea.
Yeah.
Simple, clean.
Here. I found the link for the PDF.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you can send it through my private chat, and I'll post it here. So.
Okay. I'm just going to grab the actual link.
And another thing, yes, Rachel, from hemp. Look at what we can make with hemp. Even without the THC, the products you can make through hemp. You've got a food source, i.e. hemp hearts, great protein source, especially for the vegans out there who, lots of good protein, lots of good iron too. You can make clothing, rope, containers, bricks. Possibilities are endless when it comes to growing hemp, right?
Yeah.
So
definitely. Just waiting on this to load. It's like Facebook.
Not a problem. So.
They're so slow today. It just makes me laugh because they claim to be this super platform. I don't know.
Well, the thing too, stockpiles of methane. There's Zyklon says, okay, that's the representative thing. GDR, tie-in septic systems, compost piles, manure from farms, more gas than you need. And that's the thing. You get these big dairy operations. Like there's still a lot of family farms out there that milk anywhere from, let's say, 50 to 100 cattle. Okay, just to start. I know there's some bigger farms in Ontario, especially around Guelph, Ontario, that still do that. Think
Yeah.
of the methane you could get from that area alone that
Mhm.
you could self-contain. And let's say if you have too much of it, something you can sell. So create more profit for yourself. So
Yeah.
you can pay off that tractor or pay your employees or create a benefit package for your employees if you have anything, or set that
Mhm.
extra few $1,000 a year for your kid's college if you want your kid to go to college or not. Just
Yeah.
possibilities. Like every one of these ideas will have a positive chain of events if it's allowed.
Mhm.
That's the thing. Hmm?
If it's allowed, that's the whole thing.
See, oh, if it's low, well, I better ask my premier first. Think of all the cheesecake you made with that methane stove. Hey, how about Dougie? You
Yeah.
like that idea? There you go, Buckeye. Right? Yeah,
If it doesn't involve cheesecake, he doesn't want to know about it.
exactly. Or his sticker business, or his connections to,
Or its sticker business. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
That's
But
crazy.
ideas are there, like
Yeah.
the hemp industry, methane industry. You can create your own industry. Get
Yeah. And
yourself
had people do so much with it. It's like, it's just amazing, So, I mean, there's a lot of good green technology they're not investing in because there's no money in it with their friends. Their friends
well,
own the
well,
solar
investment
farms or
wind
whatever it
turbines.
is.
You know as well as I do. How long is the sun up every day in the winter months? How much power can you contain from the sun's rays in the Canadian winter months?
Oh, tons.
Well,
Even
tons.
though you know what, it's because solar panels get more than you could use. They store it in batteries. So, I mean, you got to overlook that like 6 or 8 hours of power absorbed is probably like a couple of days of power used. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's winter or summer months with solar power. I don't think, as long as you got more than one solar panel, I mean, you got to have the sufficient
Well,
amount.
see, that's the thing. You need about at least $5,000 worth,
Yeah.
maybe to run your home. But then, what kind of grant is in the process to do that? What kind of incentive is there for you to do that? Especially those giant wind turbines you keep hearing about,
Yeah.
right? And when they break down and they fail, those items cannot be recycled or returned or made into something else. They have to be buried.
Yeah. And
And the
like we talked
lubricants,
about with the batteries from the green technology cars from Tesla.
yeah.
Those are not just disposable like your average car battery is, right?
Mhm.
I don't know what the Wreckers does with them, but I'm, they're sure they deal with them properly. But no, the green technology the government's coming up with is not green at all.
Well, it's just those two things, right? How many
The only
panels do you
green
need?
is this green here because they're making all this money on carbon tax. They're doing nothing about. We don't have a carbon problem.
No, that's the
So
thing. We need to plant food. And
yeah,
Patrick Moore said that carbon tax is a joke.
yeah,
And I would sooner take his word than any teenage girl or any protester any day, because
yeah.
he was right there when he started Greenpeace. He knew the ecology. He went to school. He
Mhm.
trained. He has his doctorate based on ecology, so he knows what he's talking about. And I'd
Yeah.
sooner listen to him and that little Dutch guy who actually created a format to rid the ocean's plastics, who created a company. I actually have his link here. I believe it is somewhere here. Where is this? Yes, I will post this on my uh, messages here. Yes, this guy here who's done wonderful things. Uh, his name is Boyan Slat. Yeah, out of Holland. He does an ocean cleanup project, and I'm surprised no one actually gave him a world point of view when it came to it. Boyan Slat. He created a company that goes out and cleans up the oceans. And that plastic that he grabbed, he can recycle it into other things. You can make things out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it can be used in medical equipment, but it can be used, let's say, in buckets, watering cans, pipes. Like it's showing a purpose, right?
Yeah.
In initiative. So I would give him. I'd give him hats off for that rather than Greta Thunberg saying, "How dare you?" Right? Yeah. So, let's say harness the heat generate. Well, yeah, exactly. The heat you can generate from composting alone. The thing is, too, regardless of how warm I want to be, I don't want to smell rot until we learn how to generate that heat, turn that into a fuel we can burn, right? Like you can natural gas, have a certain pilot light to keep things flowing as you generate that. Every time you throw out your food scraps and stuff like that, that's fine. That works. Heat can be transferred energy too. Oh yeah, there's innovations out there too. There's little stoves you can buy where you can keep yourself warm when you're out camping or out in the wilderness, and you can generate your cell phone too. Perfect.
But you probably won't get any cell phone reception out there, but you can power it out there.
Watch your girly show and call it a day.
Yeah. Corporate and business taxes. Yeah, I know. But the problem is businesses are getting all these credits and all this bullshit, and this we're the ones paying the price. If you look at China, just for instance, banned barbecues. They banned people having barbecues because the air quality is so bad from the factories that the government gave credits to pollute. Mm-hmm. And this is a cycle, and blaming the little guy and the cows for it, right? So,
hey, never-ending cycle, of course.
Those cow farts can harness up some good energy, I bet.
Oh, no doubt, exactly. All those genetically created cows. According to AOC, oh yes, they're the enemy, right?
No, for sure.
So, we're at that point of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Too, please weigh in. Let us know here at Crusty Canuck where you're calling us from. Please. Now, I think, Justin, you're from Vancouver Island, I believe, right? So please weigh in. Let us know where you're typing us to from. Now, like I say, folks, every Tuesday and Friday, I try to get an episode up of the Crusty Canuck podcast. I do the video part now, too. So what I do is I record everything via video, break down the audio, edit, try to get rid of some of the clicking, hissing sounds for your listening and viewing pleasure. So please, this is part of the show where everyone will weigh in. Let me know where you're, or let myself and Elle know where you're calling us from. So,
yeah, I agree. I like Trump too for that. He told the lobbyists to take a flying F. All right,
and we need the same thing here too, especially these anti-gun lobbyists who think they know better. Yeah. Right. So,
yeah, we don't have a gun problem in here.
From Cambridge. Yeah, I used to live in Cambridge briefly. I worked at Duracell. Right on. So Saskatchewan and Alberta. Right on. Well, you're welcome here, Jill. Come over and have a beer with me. We'll talk about politics and how we can work the VCP to be an alternate choice for the voters out there too. And I'm not going to sit and try to do a campaign speech for you all, ladies and gentlemen, but when you look at the Veterans Coalition Party, okay, it proves that you have a choice. You have a choice. It's blue collar based. Okay. You've got veterans, you've got first line responders, you have people from all walks of life in the Veterans Coalition Party. So look it up, read the mandates, and decide. And if there's not a candidate in your area, then let Randy know, we'll set you up. Maybe become a candidate for the Veterans Coalition Party. That'll be up to you. But like I say, this is not a campaign speech. It just proves that you have a choice. There are choices out there. It's just we have to start choosing wisely. Well, that's the thing. Dave Hemington, near Wyerton. Yes, beautiful area, especially this time of year. God, fantastic. You've got Georgian Bay there. You got the Wyerton. Is it not
Wyerton Willie?
Wyerton Willie, the groundhog on crack. Yeah. Yes, of course. And just the history of that area too.
Yeah.
Lots of great history in that area. So Wyerton, well done. Oh, see, that's the thing, Justin. I'm not here to force anyone's decision and who they vote for. I just hope to gods, due to the gods, whatever you believe in, that you vote for the better person. Not vote for the party. Vote for the person who can do it, who you think can do it. And then 4 years' time, if you're not happy with that individual, you can always vote for somebody else too, right? But we live in a day and age where everything has been so convenient, so comfortable. We're all guilty of doing it. Like, for example, right here, right now, we're all guilty of it. but we have to bring out that common sense yet again.
Yeah.
Okay. I would love to sit in Parliament, and I want to sit and listen to what all these so-called know-it-alls have to say about this. I can teach them something. Maybe they can teach me something too, inadvertently or officially, whatever.
Yeah.
But we're not seeing concrete democracy at work. Okay. I would love to sit there and I'd love to do that Esposito routine with some of these clowns. Just some of the stupid things they have said about Canadian democracy and how we have to harness this. But guess what? They have the right to say it just as much as we have the right to disagree with it. And we have to make that more visual. We have to disagree. And I will say that in Parliament too. And if I get in trouble by Mr. Speaker or Madam Speaker, so be it. I've been told off in class before. I can be told off again. Had that notional dragging by the ear, the principal's
office. I've had that. I've had a rule stick broke over my head.
Oh, God. I remember a chalk brush being thrown at me. God, I think it was like 10 years old. That was like a boomerang. Whoa.
Yeah, no doubt, eh? Yeah.
I know I wasn't a bad little bastard. I just like to ask the question, why? So it goes you to show things. So let's see here. Got more questions. From Jill, what better party represent the Canadian peoples than the people who live and fight? Well, yeah. Why don't we see? That's the thing. Every party has their notional veteran. Okay, Peter O'Toole. Okay, Mr. O'Toole, Aaron O'Toole, not Peter O'Toole, the drunken Welsh actor. I'm talking about Aaron O'Toole. Okay, yeah, he was in the Air Force. Okay, yeah, he's a veteran. But he didn't see the shit like a lot of us did. Okay. There's a few other lads, I think, were mechanics and techs, respectively, too. But they did not see the real drama. Okay. They did not see the real problems and the fear. Okay. They had nothing to do with anything when it comes to procurement and making sure that our men and women were equipped properly. But there's more of a blue collar base. I'll say that, for lack of a better term, a blue collar base that wants to do the job, that wants to represent the ridings as they should, as the parliamentary system was meant to do, to represent the people in the riding.
Yeah.
Okay. And not every problem is going to be solved. There's no such thing as perfect, but things I think will get done as they should, right? Properly. So no one gets hurt, no one gets tried or fined or fired. Like, enough of this PS Karen and Carl bull crap. It's like watching a bad version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, someone pointing and going, like, come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Jeremy Jackson says common sense. Well, exactly. It does, and it should. And the past 6 years, I would say, to quote Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder, it's gonna go full retard, never go full retard. Right? Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Justin, what is your opinion of Harjit Sajjan? A liar.
A liar, and he shouldn't be in government.
Oh.
He's screwed up too many times. He shouldn't still be there.
He's a follower.
Yeah.
From a guy being a lieutenant colonel in a reserved armor unit, he should be more of a leader.
Yeah.
Finding the truth on things rather than sitting on files for the sake of political identity.
Yeah.
Okay? So I would, if I was still in uniform, and I saw that man, I would be reluctant to give him a salute or to even come to attention at his presence. It would be very, very hard for me to do so because of his slack at idle requirements, especially when it came to the old F-18s, to replace the old F-18s. So spending more money to fix a problem, basically putting a Band-Aid on something that needs surgery. So I got no respect for him at all. None whatsoever. Right? Yeah. Oh, good. More teachers should be told off, I would say. I'm not saying all teachers. I've had some great teachers.
No, I've had some good ones.
Yeah, I've had they actually took the time to show you do something properly. But there's still a few assholes who come to mind. But yes, well done, Colin. Yeah. Woke Walker. Yeah, Jeremy, he is a woke individual. Okay. He should realize that he's the Minister of National Defense, not the Minister of the Liberal Party.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah.
All right. Agrees. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that agreement. Well, yeah, buying used crap from Australia. The Australians were laughing at us. And the
Yeah.
Brits were laughing at us too back in the early 2000s when Martin government bought the old submarines. The British used those submarines to train their sailors on the nukes. They were not meant to be operational boats. They were meant to be training vessels, right? But of course, under the pressure of certain individuals, Mr. Martin said, okay, we'll get new submarines. Here's new ones.
Yeah.
Garbage ones, right? There was one just released. I don't have the article with me now, but there was one that was under 10 years of repairs. If it takes our government 10 years to fix a mediocre submarine, there's something wrong. To fix it, not to buy it, to fix it.
Yeah.
So, and old F-18s, for the sake of having parts for our older F-18s, right? And then some Hollywood stars weighing in. Oh, don't purchase new aircraft. Look after climate change. And these are coming from Canadian Hollywood stars and musicians that spent most of their natural lives in the United States. So, to Mr. Neil Young out there, you're a great influence. You're a talented musician, but jog on, Buckeye. Okay? Until you become part of our political system, no.
Yeah.
I got no say. My favorite band in the world is Rush. I've loved Rush all of my natural life. And if Geddy Lee said to me, and he showed me how to play bass the way he does, and he said to me, Krusty, you shouldn't do your show anymore. I would say, Geddy, I love you, but you know what I mean? Exactly. That's how I feel. Okay. Yeah. Love your music, but stay the fuck out of my politics,
No, actually, they think a lot like we do. They were trying to warn us in their music. You look at a lot of their music.
Neil Peart, I know he was an Ayn Rand fan, big time.
Yeah, and Geddy Lee is also one of the ones that helped him write the lyrics. So, if you look at songs like Red Barchetta and stuff like that, they were trying to warn us. The 2112,
even Witch Hunt. When you look at Witch Hunt, that's Witch Hunt. 2112 exceptionally, like that's the groundbreaking record.
Oh, definitely.
Even Grace Under Pressure and Power Windows. It's almost like they put a story together, those two albums, but they didn't, So, but yeah, not now. Mr. Lee, if you're watching, I'm not going to tell you off, but just don't tell me to run my shop. I don't tell you to play bass. Don't tell me to run my shop, right? So that's the thing. And
I'll be right back. Just give me a sec. I'll be right back.
Not a problem. In a small town. Justin, you're probably near which is it? That would probably come from Nanaimo, right? I know they have the air wing there for submarine patrols and shit there, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Comox. Okay, yeah, my mistake. Comox, yeah. So, as Joe would say too, wasted tax dollars for us Canadians. Exactly. When we have the technology in this country to create and to build things, not just La Belle Provence, who says they have the harness of all the aerospace technology and the means to build them. As far as I know, I think Winnipeg still has the ability to build aircraft. I know there's still a few places in Ontario that can build aircraft. It's not just the one spot, I believe. But wasted tax dollars.
Yeah.
So please, ladies and gentlemen, let us know where you're calling us in from before we shut this down for another successful Fastball Sunday. Excuse me. So get more questions here and all that. If you like donating, please feel like donating. Go to crustycanuck.ca. Donations. I take PayPal and the Buy Me a Coffee application. Either follow my links at the in the description at the end of this show. If you like donating, please donate too. Like I say, I want to make this a full-time commitment. That's assuming I don't get elected, which I don't assume I'm get elected, but needless to say, you catch my drift. If I had, let's say, half my subscribers on my YouTube channel, give me $1 a month, wow, I would be on my way to making some great content and living a decent life. Not because I'm not grateful, but because I make this happen. I like to do this work. This is great work, and it does take work to make episodes, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like I just grab my microphone and just start blabbering. I got to rig this up, set up this, set up that sequence, edit. I got to make sure that everything's formatted. I don't write script after script. A lot of it's off my head, but I make sure it's organized so you, the listener, and the viewer alike can be thoroughly entertained based on my content. So let's see here. Jeremy from Waterloo. Yes, Waterloo. Right on. Good area. Lots of history there, too. New Berlin, Kitchener area, right? Yeah, exactly. So Gil asks us, when do you think Trudeau will call the next election? I know he's itching to. He's probably, if he was smart, he should have done it a long time ago. But I think my best guess would be August. So, of course, legally, you got 2 months to get your shit in order before the actual votes. So it'd be August, so probably October. So probably 2 years to the date when he got elected the last time. That's my best guess. Elle?
Yeah, I think he's going to call it for August.
Yeah. Yeah, the same thing. That way it gets, every party gets their chance. Every party's involved gets their chance to campaign, say this, say that, blah, 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 blah. Then probably, let's say, the 19th of August or October.
September.
Like last time.
October, it won't be no good because it's already flu season and then we're all going to be locked down again.
So have to remember in fear again. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they gotta get this election done before the next wave of bullshit comes. And I think it's August. Maybe they'll have the vote in early September to mid-September, but I think they'll call it in August.
So I'll give people a month. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hit the ground running. Hit the ground running. So why would they fly over us so low and circle twice just for show? What kind of aircraft was it? Was it an actual fighter jet, Justin? Probably out doing some maneuvers, if anything, just to fly around. I don't think to be taking pictures. So we'll have to see. Telemarketers. Let them ring. I don't recognize the number, so.
Definitely a fighter. Yeah, we have been flying over here too.
I'm not exactly sure why they would have that. I'm seeing the maneuvers because where I live, we've had fighters, but there's also private contractors too that fly certain jets for exercises.
Or are you having a jet show? Maybe there's an air show or something happening.
I know the Navy has hired private contractors to hire jets to fly over for the sake of radar exercises and gunnery exercises. They've done it here in my area, so that's a possibility. Let's see. It's called in October. They'll just implement mail-in ballots and other means to fix the vote counts. That's the thing. So then it'll have to be up to us to say, no, we don't want mail-in ballots. We want voting stations.
Yeah.
Voting stations. We want to vote. We want voting stations. They're paid for already. So don't deny people that. And I might use that in my next episode too. If they call in mail-in ballots, then it's up to the citizens to say, no, we're not mailing them in. We want to go and vote. So whether you go to your arena or your local legion or a public school or anywhere, we want people to sit at the stands, monitor the votes, count them properly, and if need be, arm police to sit there and make sure there's no fuckery going on.
Mm-hmm.
Shit simple. It can be done. Right? It can be done.
Easy peasy.
Exactly. All right. Okay, folks. Well, please send us a few more questions before we shut this down. I have been Crusty Canuck, and with me tonight is Elle Sophia Rossetti. I guess Fred and Adam could not make it, so hopefully next week we'll get that done. We have four of us here, so we're going to weigh in on our political endeavors. Yeah, look how it worked in the U.S. Exactly. How did the mail-in situation work in the U.S.? Right? Really, how many news stations talked about conspiracies and votes going missing and certain footage of people dropping off votes or ballots? Mm-hmm. Would the same thing happen here? Would you find some postal workers possibly tossing something on the side? Or somebody with Elections Canada that has loyalty to this person or that person tossing a box in a river?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing,
Yeah, there's too many dirty ways to cheat the system that we should just, I don't know, how we'll ever have fair elections. I just, because so many people are corrupted. And if you offer someone money to do this or that, they'll do it because they need the money right now. Everyone's friggin' broke.
and that's the thing. They'll play with your head about it. Say, I'll give you $500 if you drop this off someplace. No names, no pack drill.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing,
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. So, no, that is the thing. So I'll have to take a look at that. So, but, PLA Air Force is doing global recce missions. Just spitballing here. Would they be Chinese fighters, though? Can they cross the Pacific in record time? That's the thing. Who knows? Good speculation. Possibly, right? Who knows? Maybe American friends.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Possibly American friends. Gil would say they'll claim it's unsafe to do so because the so-called next wave. Yeah, watch them project the next wave the next couple of weeks and then tell people we have to mail in ballots. So then all the more reasons for us to pick up our signs, go to every federal building and say, no, proper election now. Proper election now. Proper election. None of these mail-in ballots. Fine. You want us to wear a mask, right? Put on some goggles and some rubber gloves. Fine. I'll go to the voting station like that and I'll show my ID. And I'll take off my mask. I'll take off my glasses, my rubber gloves and go booga, booga, booga. Here's my ID. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a veteran. Let me vote. Thank you. And then we'll carry on our merry way. Right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. And you want to make a mockery of this? Fine. We'll make a mockery of the system too. We'll show up and we'll vote. Yeah. Right? We'll show up. We'll get the ballot. We get in the mail. And they say, well, where do we drop this off? Well, where's Election Canada? Where were they at? Well, we want to see Elections Canada. There we go.
Yeah.
Right. And if people get mail-in ballots, don't mail them. Don't vote until they have proper electoral stations set up like they should. Right. That's simple. Yeah. So, oh my God. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Justin and Jeremy. Holy shit over. Thank you very much, buddy. Much appreciated. Don't worry, I'll get you your cut too because you're here today. So you'll get a cut of the goods too. But thank you very much, Jeremy. Much appreciated. Thank you again, Justin, for that as well. So thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. And Zyklon, again, that too, US may do it as well here too. Well, I don't know.
The thing is, the U.S. elections, at least they're trying and doing things to find out. But they should have did it all back when Trump was saying the election was stolen. They didn't want to act on it. Now they're acting on it like a year later almost. So I don't know. It just seems weird to me. It seems like it's all for show. But
we'll see. We'll see what they come up with. It's just we'll see. Who knows? Like Elle, as well as I do, they're going to pull something out of their ass.
Yeah, I know. It's just annoying. It's an insult.
We're just going to do this for your safety. Your safety, of course. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. Please, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that donation. Thank you very much. And please, folks, if you feel like donating on a regular basis, please assist me if you can. And Elle, you have links to donations too on your page as well.
Yeah, I got. Yeah. I can send them to you.
Sure. Okay. If you want to donate to Elle as well, please do. I should incorporate that in the description next time as well, rather than just your contact information. I don't want to come across as a greedy guts. What I mean? So.
But, I could always use donations too because I got a major debt getting all my software and stuff. So I had to mortgage. We had to get sister to mortgage the house. Just kidding.
Oh,
but it feels like that some days. But
definitely.
I'll send you them here in the message box.
Okay, and I'll post it there on.
When I sent you that Supreme Court link, I don't know if you got that or not.
Okay, we'll see there. Well, Justin likes you. He says you rock. Well done. Well done. And Gil, thank you, Gil. Appreciate that. Yes, I'll try to do the. Yeah.
Thanks, Gil.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you, Zyklon. Much appreciated. Jeremy says you might need a new CPU. I think he might be able to set you up. He might know a guy.
Yeah. Well, I could use another CPU. What's a CPU? A computer?
Something power unit. Yeah, I remember a basic something power unit. So yeah, but see next week too, folks. Hopefully we'll have Adam with us and Fred, my little friend from Massachusetts. There, ladies and gentlemen, quite the inquisitive young man himself, historian, North American history, as well as Commonwealth history too. He's a New Zealander American. He works in the construction trade, so he's quite efficient. A switched on young fella too. He doesn't buy this whole identity politic. He's quite thorough and quite inquisitive, and a pretty good sense of humor too. So look forward to seeing Fred hopefully come out and join us next week on the FastBall, as well as Adam, Canadian actor, extraordinarily talented, well-read, very well informed, and he's quite the history buff too. And he always has a lot to bring the conversation every time we talk. So please, next week, tune into that. Hopefully all four of us will be here. The whole FastBall panel where we can sit and discuss everything as per. So thank you, Jill. Thank you, Colin. Thank you very much. I love doing this. I love doing it in my audience. You guys are wonderful. I cannot praise you enough. The amount of comments I have received the past couple of weeks alone in regards to the podcast and to the FastBall Sunday. I'm still working on doing a once a week show where I interview an interesting guest as well. So please keep your ear to the ground to that as well. Pay attention to my community page on YouTube and on Facebook for updates on what's coming and all that. And please consider looking into my shop, A Customized Girl. You can find the link in every one of my descriptions. Right now, you can get 10% off, and between now and the 31st of July, use the code ZZSS. Get yourself a Crusty Canuck t-shirt and get 10% off. So all you got to do is just go to the website. If you have problems with the website, please email me and I'll send you a different link. And just use the code ZZSS and find yourself a nice t-shirt, a hat, swimsuits. We got shorts, we got tank tops, mugs. I think I got a couple of buttons there too, a couple of Remembrance Day flasks. So get yourself some Crusty Canuck swagger today. Remember, the sale is only on, the 10% discount is on until the 31st of July. So get your Crusty Canuck swagger today, please, and consider that as well. Let's see, Zyklon. FastBall Sundays are great. Well, I'm glad you like them, Zyklon. Please enjoy. Like I say, FastBall Sundays are 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So for those of you in the East, that's 6 o'clock your time. For those of you Pacific, that's 3 o'clock your time. Mm-hmm. And those Central, I believe that would be 5, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm basic time zones. Anyway, it's tune in. Just type in 4 p.m. MST and you'll get your time zone approximate value, whatever that stuff. So 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time every Sunday until I post on my community page or give you an update. But between now until when Christ becomes a cowboy, FastBall Sunday will be a go every 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So pardon my expression there if there's any Christians in the show tonight, but humor is where it's at, ladies and gentlemen. We need more humor to bring out more of the light in this manufactured darkness. Mm-hmm. So anything last you want to say there, Elle, before we shut her down?
I really hope that people are going to wake up and about everything, not just about this or that, but about everything, because Canadians were one of the most informed people I ever known growing up. I always thought they were, I guess maybe I put them on a pedestal or something, but I just see a whole country really dumbed down, and I really hope people will wake up, either get out to protests or promote freedom, promote freedom of speech, promote freedom of privacy of body. Don't allow these vaccine passports to be installed. Don't ask for them. They are a totalitarian measure. And if, the stupid thing is, we're being squeezed into it by the transportation industry and other industries and schools. And I don't think that's right. I don't think I should be able to do that. If the province in particular is not mandating, or if Canada isn't mandating them, they shouldn't be an issue. And, you know, it's so many people are eager to get on the program of digital ID and vaccine passports. These are not good things, people. Mm-hmm. These are chains. They are the new chains. Okay. It was money for the last 100 plus years since the chains came off. Money have been our chains and our downfall. But don't take this new digital way. Don't buy into the fourth industrial revolution. It's all bullshit. Yeah, you know, like, and the fourth wave and all this crap.
Klaus Schwab, yes, you vote on nothing and be happy, aboard. Yes.
Yeah. So just please wake up, do your investigation, get on the internet and look things up. It's all there. Dr. Dave Martin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched something that was really good. Really good. I'll send you the link there too. If Jeremy, if you want to send me that link again. Was that the one you sent me on my messenger, I believe? Jeremy?
Dave Martin or Dave Martin?
Dave Martin. Dave Martin. Yeah.
Okay. I think I have. He's the bald guy, right? And he was talking about the patents.
That's the guy with the bow tie? I think that's the guy with the bow tie.
Yeah, the bow tie guy. Yeah. I have him downloaded a few of his videos. He's done some really important videos lately.
His most recent is excellent. It's about an hour long. It's worth it. Really, just some of the facts and figures he throws out there, and the patent BS. Wow.
Yeah.
Like you're mentioning about patents. So.
Yeah. No, he was on with Rainer Fulrich in Germany and the crew there from the COVID committee. What an amazing video! And he's very articulate. He's well spoken, and he's believable. He's very informed.
Entirely.
But yeah, send me the link. I might not have seen the one you're talking about.
Well, yeah, I'll click on it and I'll do what I can for you later today. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another Fastball Sunday. I'd like to thank my audience for coming out, and of course, panel Elle Sophia Rossetti, right? And Fred Stockman and Daniel Mezei could be with us tonight, but they're with us in spirit nonetheless. And I want to thank you, my audience, for being as loyal and kind, and especially those who have donated. Thank you very much. Without your insight and your input, these shows would be next to effing impossible. So give yourselves a pat in the back for coming out and enjoying us and joining us in our little discussions on national and fiscal and social issues as we see it. Like I say, I want to thank Elle again for coming out, and I'm myself, Crusty Canuck. Want to thank you all for contributing. Like I say, pay attention to my community page on YouTube and my Facebook page for updates on upcoming episodes and events. And stay tuned every Sunday, 4 p.m. live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch for the Fastball Sunday show. Like I say, I've been Crusty Canuck. With me tonight has been Elle Sophia Rossetti. Please stay tuned. Tuesdays and Fridays, try to get a new episode up for you all to listen to. And please consider donating, preferably now on a monthly basis if you can. Help me get things on the go, algorithm, all that good stuff. And look after yourselves and your loved ones, and do what you can to help each other out in these trying times. And like I always say, humanity merit wins the day. Take care, and we'll see you next time on the Sunday Fastball. Bye for now.
Bye.